Alright, so let's take a look at number 8 on the back page. And it says the square root of x plus 2 in that radical plus 1 equals the square root of 3 minus x. So now, because you have a radical on both sides, guys, you have to try and eliminate this to just one radical on one side so that you can undo it. But the first step in doing this is going to be to square both sides. If you square both sides, it will undo the square root. But what happens is because of this plus 1 on the left-hand side, it gets a little messy. If you had just two radicals, it would be fine. But that plus 1 makes this a squared binomial, and it's not going to look very friendly. So that's why I'm doing it with you guys. So let's go ahead and square both these. So on the right-hand side, no problem. They cancel out, and you're left with just 3 minus x. But this x plus 2, square root of x plus 2 plus 1 squared, gets messy. So if you guys, I would recommend using your box. So I would say the square root of x plus 2, you have to do it twice. So x plus 2 plus 1 and the square root of x plus 2 plus 1. So square root times square root gives us a pair, so it gives us just what's left underneath. So that gives us just x plus 2. 1 times square root of x plus 2 gives you x plus 2. And 1 times 1 is 1. So what ends up happening is that you have x plus 2 plus 1. So x plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 of these square roots of x plus 2's. And we said we saw that 3 minus x. So now that we only have one radical, we need to isolate that. So this becomes x plus 3 plus 2 square root x plus 2. So I'm going to subtract two things at once. I'm going to subtract my x and subtract my 3. So that leaves us with just 2 square root x plus 2. 3's cancel, and negative 1 and negative 1 is negative 2x. So now the last thing we need to do here is divide by 2 to get that radical by itself. So it leaves us with just 1x. Negative 1x, I'm sorry. Alright, so now that the one radical is isolated on the one side by itself, we need to undo it by squaring both sides. So this becomes just x plus 2. Negative x times negative x is x squared. So what we have here is a quadratic. That exponent of 2 means quadratic. We need to find our two solutions. So I'm going to move my x and my negative 2 over here and get x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. So you guys could go ahead and factor this. Sorry for all the moving around. So if you guys tried to factor this, we would say what multiplies to get us 2, but adds to get us negative 1. X minus 2 and x plus 1. So we would have to say, okay, x equals 2 and negative 1. So if we went over and checked this, let's go ahead and check positive 2 first. So if we plug in positive 2, we get the square root of 2 plus 2, and then plus 1 equals square root of 3 minus 2. So we end up with square root of 4, which is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. Square root of 1 is 1. So that does not work out. So now let's plug in negative 1. Square root of negative 1 plus 2. And then plus 1 equals the square root of 3 minus negative 1. So minus negative is like a plus, so square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So that one does check out. So x equals negative 1 is our only solution here. So when it says check for extraneous solution, guys, all that means is say, okay, once you have your 1 or 2 or 3 solutions, whatever it may be, you have to go in and check and make sure that they all make the equation true. That's it.